Hello everybody and welcome back. I am Carrick, so we're going to be doing another SWOT analysis and getting started guide, this time for Najd, which was the third country that we did a full campaign for on the Twitch channel a couple years ago. I actually can't believe we did Najd third. Of course, there's a famous achievement for this country, the Jihad, where you essentially take over all of the Sunni land, I think, or all of the... what is it exactly? I think you have to conquer all of the... Is it either all the Sunni land or is it all of the Muslim land? Like Islamic land? Well, there is one for actually unifying Islam as well. So we ended up hitting a number of different achievements. I think there's like an Arabian coffee one that we did. After we did all that, we formed Arabia and got the achievement for that. So there was unifying Islam. There's the jihad that's specific to Najd. That one's specific to Najd. And then we also did... At the end, I think we did Arabia and we got the Arabian coffee or something like that. So we ended up knocking out a bunch of achievements with this run. This run's a pretty famous country to play. Of course, now it's actually 3 provinces instead of 1. So there was an expansion that kind of like configured the region here. That was a few years ago as well. Let's get into it. Let's figure out what the deal is with Najd. Now, Najd is not exactly a strong start for a number of reasons. The biggest one that I remember is that we do not have feudalism here, or like a tribal something or other. We don't even have feudalism, for crying out loud. How fast is it spreading here? Barely, like barely spreading. I don't know if like getting a good opinion with some of these neighboring countries would be good. I don't know if we could buy feudalism at the cost of economy and money, although our economy is probably just absolutely terrible. We have 3 desert provinces. I'd be better than one, but 3 weak little desert provinces, although this one's 5 development. I mean, hey, hooray to that. Hooray to that. We got 11 development over here. That's a heck of a lot more than you used to have as Najd. But still, yeah, you don't have feudalism at the start. So, and it's coming up at a slow pace. Saying we're going to have it natural spread. We're going to have this at 45 years. I don't know if we're going to want to wait for that or not. And then Renaissance is going to be sort of popping up on top of us in a few years as well, right? It's just going to hit us like a pound of bricks. This is actually really, really cool. Enforce religious unity, fantastic. Get 2 extra missionary strength versus the heretics. There's not too many relevant heretics for the Islamic faiths. I mean, we have Shia over here. That's relevant for sure, for Najd especially. But even, you know, there's only a small amount of Shia. There's not very much a body. There's a little bit above of a body here and over here, and this is an Abadi nation. Isn't Pate like an Abadi nation or something? Yeah, Abadi there. Yeah, there you go. So, but there's not much Abadi. The one thing that we have going for us, though, is that we have a lot of very small, weak nations around us as well. So it's just like an ecosystem of like very similar, weak, insignificant nations. Hormuz actually really likes us. I like that. I like the fact that they like us. I think we're gonna potentially actually try to just get the quick alliance with them. Let's just make sure that they don't. Oman, okay. Just kind of making sure that they're not angry, like at odds with the Mamluks or something. The Mamluks would be incredibly great if we can get an ally with them. They're very powerful. They're not going to care much about us because of our weakness, but let's butter up. Let's butter them up. I mean, the Ottomans are good too, but the Ottomans are actually tend to be weaker than the Mamluks since the latest 1.3 patch. We are playing with all the expansions and everything as well. I think we do want to swing over here. Wait, are we like a tribal kingdom? We have 3 diplomats right now. Yeah, we're a kingdom rank. We're like a tribal kingdom over here. What is this actually? Do we have anything interesting here with the tribal federation? Minus 5 years of separatism. That's actually kind of cool. Cannot change your reform on this level due to the reform tribal federation being enacted. Tribal despotism. It doesn't seem to actually explain what that would mean, but there you go. So we have these little tribal things. We can actually become a horde. This I think is new. I think this came out in Dharma. This was after we'd played Najd. The idea that we could actually reform ourselves to a horde is kind of insane, because that would make it like kind of easy. Becoming a theocracy would actually be very fitting, since isn't Saudi Arabia a theocracy, like in modern day? It's like a monarch or something, right? No, it's a monarch. It's a monarch of some kind, but obviously I think that theocracy, like the religious institutions, have a huge amount of power in some of those countries. But I think it has actually a monarch. I don't know if those two things are kind of like synonymous, if you believe that the king is like called of God or something, you know, like that. But anyways, so we have some missions over here. Nothing fancy though. Just a little bit here for being Islamic here. So if we have a very low piety, then we'll be able to get some morale of army and some extra missionary strength and so on and so forth. Not something that we'll probably end up worrying about, because I think I like the benefits from legalism a heck of a lot better than the benefits from mysticism. You get morale of armies, that's good. Missionary strength, that's good too. Najd already has an insane amount of missionary strength, I think, and the ability to get a lot of extra missionaries. +1 missionary. Don't we get missionary strength? Well, +1, we get 3 missionaries. Where's our missionary strength? Okay, maybe we don't get missionary strength. But a lot of the land around us is going to be our religion. Sort of just infantry cavalry ratio, like chance of a new heir. Like, this is lame. It's like super lame. Najd, wait, it says Najd traditions, 2%. Okay, we do start with 2%. We start with the 2% bonus there, and 50% move speed. It's actually kind of cool. And then we get a bunch of missionaries and stuff. So realistically, you almost kind of don't even need religious ideas with Najd. But if you get them, it's just going to clean everything up. You're not going to have any rebellion at all, because you have 2 tolerance to the true faith there. Religious ideas would give you another 2 for, and then you can get more through the cross bits. I mean, religious ideas is kind of thematic for the run, but realistically, a lot of the land that we're going to be conquering is... I can't remember... do we have to convert 500 provinces or just own 500 Sunni provinces? I think you just need to own 500 Sunni provinces. I don't think you need to convert 500. A lot of the land that we're going to be taking is already Sunni, just in its nature. We might be able to promise these guys land if we go in there. They've already rivaled us, so I think that's probably a done deal. Who's the one nation here that hasn't rivaled us? These guys here. This is a nation that we could very easily attack ourselves, though. So I think we might rival them. Who rivaled us that isn't bordering us? These guys over here rivaled us. They're not bordering us. I don't think we rival them. I think we rival the other 3 that are bordering us. In terms of potentially getting an ally, these guys are, of course, subjects of the Mamluks. Subject of the Timurids there. A little bit of a tricky situation going on, just diplomatically. But Hormuz is going to be a good ally. It's going to be a good ally, but if the Timurids end up attacking Hormuz, that could be bad. But hopefully the Timurids have a little bit of a weaker start than a stronger start. They've been having a strong start as of late, though. They have been doing well as of late. Jams are like just a ticking time bomb. That's not a good idea at all. I think our last diplomat, we're just going to get a claim on somebody. These guys haven't rivaled here and here. I wonder why. So there could be some alliances being made, like alliances being made between here. Have you guys at least rivaled these guys up here? No. That's a little tricky. That's a little tricky. They'll actually royal marry us, even though we've rivaled them. That's okay. Let's just get claims on as many of these guys as we can, as quickly as we can. Let's go over here. Let's revoke land while everybody likes us. Get rid of that issue. We could also go in with this. See what we can get here. The base tax, we are going to have to dev these areas up most likely. Is this our capital? Our capital is actually not even the highest dev province here, which is interesting. So this is to dev up our capital with 3 base stacks. That's something we'll probably end up doing. That's probably something we will absolutely end up doing at one point or another. So we got 20 years to do that. We'll have to do that in 20 years, at least to get Renaissance or something. So we do have the dhimmi here. We don't need to worry about the dhimmi because we have 100% religious unity at the moment. So there's no issue. The dhimmi is usually used for when you have religious discontent within your country due to non-religious unity and harmony. Free enterprise, sure. We don't have any ships, so some of the stuff we could do with the merchant guilds is not quite as strong. The emirs here. Red council. I don't think our economy is just absolutely abysmal. We're not going to be able to actually get advisors or anything. So I think for now we're not going to worry about actually slotting in those policies. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it really simple for now. Actually, can we do the general one right away? No, you can't do this till you have 15 army tradition, which we don't have. In fact, it's actually going down per year. We have no forts to mothball. If we mothballed our troops, we would make almost a ducat a month. We are going to want to get up to our force limit here. We have, a generic mission for that, but also just to be able to have the most flexibility. Yeah. Let's roll a general. Actually, what does our guy look like? Incorruptible. That's kind of nice. He's relatively old. He's going to die anyways. Our heir is certainly not good. Cruel is also not a very good stat. Although it does make it harder for people to call us into a war on their side, like an aggressive war on their side. It's a decent general, a 1-2-4. I mean, it's not necessarily the best combination of the pips, but the 4 maneuver could be really good. Could save. I don't river crossing. I don't see many rivers in this area, but there you go. I think for the most part, this is looking like we're basically good to go. I just don't know exactly what's going to happen when we unpause. It's going to be a little bit of a tricky situation. 1 leader without upkeep. That's actually kind of nice. 10-10, but it reduces the equilibrium of the other two, so I don't think we want that. Can we hit either of these? You need 30 tribal allegiance to gather to do these buttons. Have recombat ability for a certain amount of years. We can get some free, cheap cavalry for 0% of the cost. Wow, that's actually really cool. 6 is quite a bit though. How do we get this stuff? Winning battles and humiliating rivals, and then it's going to go down because, okay. So winning battles and humiliating the rivals is how this goes up. But right now this is actually going downwards. We can get a free general for 40 tradition. That's actually some neat stuff here we can hit with the tribal government here. Kind of neat. I think for the most part, we're ready to roll though on this Najd run. Don't know what's going to happen. We might be able to call Hormuz into a war against these guys potentially. Yeah, we'll just have to see how the alliance networks break down and stuff like that. Najd is, of course, a tricky nation to start, but hopefully we'll be able to get off the ground here. Let's see how it goes. It'd be interesting to see if Hormuz would actually be willing to sell us feudalism as well. And I wonder how much that would cost us, but presumably that means that we'd get it very quickly. So thanks to everybody for watching this episode. If you have questions, fire away down below about Najd or anything like that. In the next episode, we're going to do opening moves. In the next episode, we're actually going to execute on some of the things that we've been talking about, commentating on. We're ready to go. We're ready to unpause and just get right into it. So thanks everybody for being here. And of course, there's a playlist as well with other EU4. We have tutorials of the channel, and we also have other SWOT analysis and opening moves videos for other nations as well on the channel. Playlist link for some of those down below. Thanks everybody for being here. I'll see you guys in the next one.